directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
Good afternoon, Tiger Nation, and welcome to Rab Rogers Field for some GAC baseball action. Today's matchup is between the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State University and your Ouachita Tigers. Southeastern Oklahoma coming into this matchup 5-16 overall. I'm sorry, 13-14 overall and 9-12 in conference. Ouachita coming in 9-19. And 5-16. No, sorry, Ouachita is 6-9 in conference play. Last game for Southeastern Oklahoma was a 17-11 loss to the University of Central Oklahoma. Ouachita coming off a series win over UAM this past weekend. It was a big series this past weekend for Ouachita. So that was the first series win they have had in a while. I believe that is the first series win that Ouachita has had since March 5th against Harding. It was a long time coming to get that one. And they took the series from UAM 2-1. They won game 1 11-9. They lost game 3 17-3. Then they came back and won in game 3 5-3 to take the series from the Boll Weevils of Monticello. These two teams are closely ranked in the standings this season in the GAC. Ouachita is currently 10th in the Great American Conference, and Southeastern Oklahoma is one above them at 9th. There should be a decent matchup coming into today. About to go over the starting lineups for the teams. First up, we'll see the starting lineup for Southeastern Oklahoma State. You've got Seth Morrow playing in right field. Catching is number 26, Joseph Ramirez. Designated hitter is number 9, Colton Buckner. First base is number 10, Reed Rice. Center field is number 31, Slade Ortiz. Left field, number 14, Aaron Herrera. Third base, number 3, Hayden Evans. Second base, number 11, Riley Holmes. Shortstop, number 7, Dylan Hurd. And the starting pitcher for Southeastern Oklahoma will be number 19, Jacob Potter. The starting pitcher for Ouachita will be Luke Skaggs. This will be his 10th start of the season, or 9th start of the season. He is one of the top in the GAC in starts. Like he's got the 1-6 record doesn't really illustrate what the type of pitcher Skaggs is. 5.51 ERA. He's pitched 49 innings. That's top 5 in the GAC as well. Given up the 30 earned runs, walked 12, and struck out 27 so far. Opponents batting .303 against him. Granted, now this batter that you're about to see step into the box for Southeastern is not an easy opponent. That is Seth Morrow, a freshman. But he is batting .424 this season. First pitch from Skaggs gets in there for a strike. Morrow is a freshman out of San Antonio, Texas, a transfer out of Wichita State, but batting .424 on the season. This could be his 100th at bat of the year. But Skaggs quickly jumps out ahead, 0-2. Skaggs is a senior out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. And that one's going to be just outside for ball one. The 1-2 count here on Morrow from Skaggs. That's going to be hit down the third base line. Reebok grabs it, throws it over fair, and gets it to Cheney in time. Out number one. A great play by Reebok and Cheney to get that one. It was close, but a great play. It gets out number one. That will bring up Joseph Ramirez, the catcher today, number 26, coming in batting .314 on the year. First pitch from Skaggs finds the zone, strike one. Ramirez is a sophomore out of Riverside, California. That one's going to be, that's going to catch the inside part of the zone. Strike two. Skaggs once again ahead in the count, 0-2. All speed is hit into left center field. It might get down. Steen goes over, makes the grab. Out number two. Past few games we've seen Coach Howard choose to move Steen over to right. In that case right there, it worked out. And Steen went over to make that grab for out number two. That'll bring up the designated hitter for the Savage Storm, Colton Buckner. Buckner coming in batting .324. Several of the Southeastern players batting above .300 on their starting roster. Good breaking ball there from Skaggs. Gets the zone for strike one. That one's going to be low and outside for ball one. This will be the first batter so far that has not had an 0-2 count. That's going to be hit into left or right center. That's going to get down to the wall. We're looking at least a double here for Buckner. And it will be a stand-up double here with 2 outs for the designated hitter. Good piece of hitting there. Got to give credit on that one. Was able to get into that gap and make it to the wall. Still 2 outs, though. And that'll bring up Reed Rice. Rice is a freshman out of Keller, Texas. You can see Buckner getting his lead there. That one must have just missed up high for ball one. Rice batting .245, first baseman for the Savage Storm. Off speed there, that one left up. That'll be ball two. That's going to be popped up into foul territory. Reebok goes over, gets under it, and makes the grab, having to lean back for it for out number 3. A great catch there by Reebok to end the inning. So Southeastern gets one on one hit, but no runs crossed, no errors, and they'll leave one left on base for the top half of the first inning. When we come back, we'll be able to bring you. I'll give you the Washita starters and get ready to see if the Tigers can strike first in today's game. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Oakita?
Searching for Washita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
Washita. Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field. You can see the starting lineup there on your screen. Leading off is number 2, and playing third base is Tyler Reebok. Second base is number 4, C-Dub Schrader. Right field, number 1, Lewis Steen. Center field, number 5, Pierce Mitchell. Left field, number 22, Cade Burris. Designated hitter today is number 15, Cole Kelly. First base, number 25, Jackson Cheney. Shortstop, number 9, Simmons Sal. Catching is number 27, Hayden Childers. And the starting pitcher for Southeastern is going to be the 19, the right-handed pitcher, Jacob Potter, coming in with a 3.57 ERA this year, making his 7th start of the season. He has pitched 40 1/3 innings, only given up just 16 earned runs. Reebok stepping in here. Reebok, a senior out of Rockwall, batting .284 this year. That one's going to be outside for ball 1 from Potter. Potter, 4th in the GAC in opponent batting average with just .248. Now a 2-0 count on Reebok. That's going to be lifted into center field. That's back at the wall. And a leadoff home run for Tyler Reebok gets the Tigers on the board first. What a way to start a game. You see the celebration there on your screen. Tigers now up 1-0. What a hit that was, right over the word baseball out there in center field. But what a way to start the day for the Tigers. That'll bring up C-Dub Schrader. That one's going to be high and inside for ball 1. That one's going to be a hit. That'll get through the gap into right field for a single there for Schrader. 2 straight hits now for the Tigers. That will bring up the right fielder, Lewis Steen. With that home run, Reebok is now tied for the lead in homers, tied with the man at the plate in Lewis Steen. And Steen had 1 home run coming into the weekend, this past weekend against UAM. Hit 4. He is one of the co-players of the week in the GAC. Batted .667, 4 homers, and 13 RBIs this past weekend at University of Arkansas Monticello. A big part of those wins for the Tigers. That one will go in there for a strike and even the count up at 1-1. That'll be swung on and miss, or it'll be a foul tip. It'll be strike 2. First time in this inning that Potter has been ahead in the count. The 1-2 from Potter. On the way to Steen. Outside, ball 2. That was just the 7th home run given up by Potter this season. Potter been one of the dominant pitchers this year in the GAC. That one's going to be fouled back into the net. Count will stay at 2-2. Steen, a senior out of South Haven, Mississippi. Batting .279 this year. That one's going to be outside for ball 3, and the count runs full. Good job by Steen laying off on that one. Also leads the team in RBI with 25. That one's going to be hit just foul down the third baseline. It was close, but it was foul. The Steen gets another chance. With 25 RBI, that puts Steen tied at 11 in the GAC. Another payoff pitch on the way. That one's going to be hit into left field. That should get down, and it will. Trader around second. Steen goes into second. And actually put Steen back on first. So that'll put runners on the corners with no outs on the single from Lewis Steen. Still nobody out here, and we've got runners on first and third as Pierce Mitchell steps to the plate. Mitchum, the redshirt junior out of Heber Springs, Arkansas, steps in. Batting .224 on the year. Does have 14 RBI. That's good for third on the team. Outside, ball 1. Still nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning. That's going to be popped up. Might be in foul territory. But Rice makes the grab over there. Well, technically in fair territory, but that'll be the first out. It'll pop up to first. And that'll bring up Cade Burris, batting in the 5 hole. The leading batter right now on the Tigers. Batting .299, so just shy of 300. He had gotten that average up to around 380 for a little bit, and then now it's dropped down to .299. Still leads the Tigers in hits with 29 on the year. Pickoff attempt not in time over there by Potter. Burris, a sophomore out of Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, steps in. Runner goes. Here's a throw. Throw from Ramirez not in time and a little off the mark, so that puts runners on second and third now after the stolen base by Steen. A 1-0 count here on Burris. That pitch was a ball. Tigers up 1-0 here. That was a good pitch there from Potter. Finds his own for strike 1. Southeastern Oklahoma in their black tops and gray pants with blue hats, or black and blue hats. Washita in their purple tops, white pants, black hats. That one's going to be high for ball 2. See Schrader getting a pretty good lead over there at third. The 2-1. Fouled back, and they'll even the count up at 2-2. That one's going to be inside, and we'll have another full count. Payoff pitch. And that'll walk Burris to load the bases for Cole Kelly, the designated hitter. Bases loaded, 1 out. I have a word out there on the mound. I believe that it might be head coach Zach Crabtree. As you hear the Seinfeld music playing in the background. Not a typical start that you've seen from Potter this year. And now stepping in is number 15, Cole Kelly, the designated hitter today for Ouachita. Kelly, a senior, batting .221 on the year. Batting .221 and slugging .377. 1 out, bases loaded. That's going to be hit into right field. Morrow gets under it. They'll probably send Trader. They will. No throw at the plate, and that'll score another run. So a sac fly there from Cole Kelly makes it 2-1 Ouachita. Steen advanced over to third on the play as well. But that does go down as an RBI for Kelly. And that'll bring up Jackson Cheney, the first baseman, batting .140 this season. Cheney, a freshman out of Sulphur Springs, Texas. Swing and a miss. Try to pick off Burris over there at first, but not in time. So it'll be an 0-1 count on Cheney. Cheney making just his 14th start of the year. I want to be outside and even the count up at 1 apiece. The runners on the corners with 2 outs. The 7-hole batting now for the Tigers. Burris started to go, but it'll be fouled back. So it'll be strike 2. Burris goes here with 2 strikes. There's a throw back to third, but it is not in time. So Burris makes it over to second on the stolen base. So now both runners in scoring position here for Jackson Cheney with 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. Potter shakes off a couple signs and resets. That's going to be a chopper over towards third, over towards short. It'll get by. 1 run will score. Steen comes in, and here comes Burris. What will probably go down as an error, but either way, it scores 2 more runs. And Tigers are now up 4-0. It's a hard chopper there from Cheney. And both runners were going on contact with 2 outs. So it sent both of them in. I'm assuming that might go down as an error on short. And that'll bring up Simmons Sal, the shortstop for the Tigers. Lays down a bunt, a great bunt down the third baseline, scooped up by Evans, and over in time to Rice for out number 3. That will do it. Tigers bat 8. They score 4 runs on 3 hits and no errors. But a great job there. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here with the top half of the second inning. You're watching Ouachita Baseball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field here for the second inning. Luke Skaggs back out for another inning of work. Due up for the Savage Storm will be 5, 6, and 7. That is Slade Ortiz, Aaron Herrera, and Hayden Evans. And if anybody gets on, it'll be Riley Holmes. Tigers put up 4 in the bottom half of the first. That all started with a leadoff home run from Tyler Reebok. Stepping in now is Slade Ortiz. Batting .292, a senior. First pitch from Skaggs finds the zone for strike 1. Ortiz, a senior of Amarillo, Texas. That one's going to be outside for ball 1. Behind the plate is Hayden Childers, who is making just his 10th start, coming in after McBride suffered a hand injury a few weekends ago and is out for the season. That was going to be chopped foul for strike 2. In the same day, Tigers lost 2 starters a few weekends ago. I believe that was the series against Arkansas Tech. That's going to be hit into left field for a base hit. The leadoff base hit for Slade Ortiz brings up Aaron Herrera. Herrera, a sophomore out of Kennedale, Texas, a transfer in out of Hill College. Batting .350 on the year. This is his 7th start of the season. First pitch from Skaggs once again finds a zone. Now you don't want to get too much of a lead on Skaggs. He attempts to pick off Ortiz. That's going to be hit foul for strike 2. Skaggs leads the GAC in runners picked off with 4 on the season, which is fairly impressive to lead in pickoffs as a right-hander. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Luke Skaggs, and that's out number 1. That will bring up number 3, Hayden Evans, a .286 hitter this season. for Southeastern. Another good pickoff attempt, just not in time for Skag. Good pitch there from Skaggs. Strike one. Skaggs has had some really good outings this season for the Tigers. 5.5 ERA doesn't look great too much on paper, and he does have that 1-6 record. Another good pickoff attempt, not quite in time. Skaggs has been the main Game 1 starter this season for the Tigers. That's going to be hit deep into center. Pierce Mitchum goes back. Gets under it. No tag from the runner. Runner, well, he went to go back and tag, but going back to first. That'll be out number 2. That'll bring up Riley Holmes, number 11. Holmes, another freshman on Southeastern, batting .200 this season. Out of Kingston, Oklahoma. That one's going to be up high for ball 1 from Skaggs. Another pickoff attempt, not in time. Skaggs doing his best to keep Ortiz honest over there at first. That's going to find the zone for strike one. Now, Ortiz does lead Southeastern in stolen bases and attempts. He's 4 for 6 on the year. So that is a good reason. Skaggs over there keeps trying to pick him off. Fastball finds the zone, strike 2. Most likely see an off-speed or a breaking ball here from Skaggs with a 1-2 count. Holmes has struck out 18 times. Got him right there. A strikeout ends the inning there for the Tigers. 2 strikeouts now for Skaggs. We'll take a quick break. Your Tigers lead it 4-0. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the second inning here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field for the bottom half of the second inning. Due up for the Tigers will be 9-1-2. It's Childers, Reebok, and Schrader. A quick update from Oklahoma. It looks like Southeastern has taken down Ouachita 4-1 in softball in Game 1 of their doubleheader today. Ouachita softball chasing its first winning season in over a decade, but they've got some stiff competition here in the last few weeks to go up against. As Southeastern is first in the conference in softball, so we'll see if they can bounce back here in Game 2. We'll keep you updated on that too, as Hayden Childers swings and misses at that one for strike 1. Potter back out for another inning. That'll be fouled back for strike 2. Potter is a junior out of Victoria, British Columbia in Canada. He transferred in out of Galveston College. Must have been a pretty big culture shock going from Victoria, British Columbia all the way down to originally Galveston College and in the southeastern state. The 1-2 count here on Childers. Ooh, and that's going to hit Childers in the back, so lead off base runner. Just the third hit batter this year by Potter. Puts a runner on here with no outs as we turn the lineup back over. Reebok steps in now, who homered to start things off last inning. This time he has a runner on first. That one's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. Childers will hold up at second, so that'll be a single for Reebok. Reebok moves to 2-2, 2 for 2 on the day. And that will bring up C.W. Schrader. Schrader also 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored today. Nobody out and 2 on. Schrader, the sophomore out of Red Oak, Texas. Lays out a bunt. It is popped up on the infield, and it's going to be caught by Rice. I get the idea of a bunt there, just couldn't quite get it down. I mean, it was the opposite of getting it down. It went straight up. That'll be out number 1. Still 2 on here with 1 out for Lewis Steen, who's 1 for 1. Single, a run scored, and a stolen base so far today. His average is up to 287 now, the senior out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Both runners getting pretty good leads. First pitch there from Potter finds his own, strike 1. Steen leading Ouachita in slugging percentage with a 512 slugging percentage. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Steen often finds a way on. He's got a 402 on base percentage as well. And is 6 for 6 on the year on stolen bases, adding that one from the first inning. That one's going to be outside for ball 1. Trying to get Steen to chase. Steen having put together a pretty good battle here with 2 strikes. That one's going to be up high for ball 2. Potter is tied for 7th in the GAC with strikeouts with 38. Actually tied with Ouachita reliever Cooper Timmons for that spot. A 2-2 count here with 1 out and 2 on. Runners go, and it'll get away from the catcher. It'll be outside. The count will run full. Both runners advance, so a stolen base for Reebok and Childers. Puts both runners in scoring position here with a full count for Steen. That's going to be hit into left field. Herrera goes under and makes a grab. Childers tagging and coming in. It's an RBI sac fly for Lewis Steen. Puts the Tigers up 5-0. Good bit of hitting there by Steen. Just a little bit further, it could have been out of here. But Childers scores. Reebok stayed at second, so now we'll just have one runner on here with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Pierce Mitchell. Mitchell popped up into foul territory. No, popped up over to first last inning. That's going to be hit into right field as Morrow comes over. Actually has to backtrack and makes a grab a few feet from the warning track for out number 3. But that will do it for the bottom half of the second inning. Tigers get one more after a couple hits. We right back here with the third inning of play. Ouachita leads at 5-0. You're watching Ouachita Baseball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field for the top half of the third inning. Luke Skaggs back out on the mound for his third inning of work. Due up for Southeastern Oklahoma will be 9-1-2. That's going to be Hurd, Morrow, and Ramirez. Hurd batting .231 this season. Another freshman. A very young Southeastern team. That's going to be hit straight to Reebok. Gets it down and fires over to Cheney there for out number 1. Good job there by Reebok recovering on that one as it bounced off his glove to start. That will bring up Seth Morrow. Batting .420 on the year. That's going to be hit into center field. Mitchum goes back. Gets under it at the warning track and makes the grab for out number 2. Two pitches and 2 outs this inning for Skaggs so far. You can't get much more efficient than that as Ramirez steps up. Ramirez 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to right. Two outs, nobody on here. So we will not be seeing a 3-pitch inning here for Skaggs. That one just missed for ball 1. Good breaking ball there by Skaggs. Just missed the zone. 1-0 count here. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Ramirez batting .308 this season. That one missed inside, and the count will go to 2-1. But what I was saying was, this is a very young Southeastern team. Everybody but 2 of the starters. That's going to be hit straight over to Sal. Backhands it and throws over to Cheney for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning. So no runs, no hits, and no errors there for Southeastern. We'll take another quick break and be right back here with the bottom of the third here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field for the bottom half of the third inning. Tigers lead it 5-0. They're going to look to extend their lead here as Cade Burris steps up to lead things off. Burris 0 for on the day. He walked and scored a run back in the first. Also has a stolen base to his name. Burris, the sophomore out of Walnut Ridge, the accounting major here at Ouachita. That's going to be fouled out of play for strike one. There's a little bit of action down there in the southeastern bullpen. I wouldn't really call it action. They're not on the mound throwing quite yet. I say that as one just steps up to the mound. That's going to be hit up the middle for another leadoff base hit. Tigers have had a leadoff base runner every inning so far today. That'll bring up Cole Kelly. Kelly's 0 for 0 today as well with an RBI. He had that sac fly in the first inning. First pitch there will miss for ball one. But it looks like in the bullpen for Southeastern is going to be number 44, Casey Bryant, junior right-hander for the Savage Storm. First getting a pretty good lead over there at first. That one will find the zone for strike one. That one will miss for ball two. And that one will be another base hit into left field. Move Burris on over to second. 2 on here with nobody out. That'll bring up Jackson Cheney. Reached on an error, but that error did allow 2 runs to score back in the first. First pitch will be swung and missed there by Cheney. Pickoff attempt back at second, not in time. I don't see where Potter either picked any. I don't know if Potter's picked anybody off. I know he doesn't have at least 2. Otherwise, he'd be on in the standings. That one's going to be outside for ball one. As I said, Luke Skaggs leads runners picked off category with 4. Then there's a bunch time for third with 2, and then 14 at 1. So Potter might be one of those, but either way, not many pickoff or successful pickoff attempts by this pitcher. I think that's why Ouachita is getting a little more aggressive today. Now it's going to be up high, and it'll be a 2-1 count now to Cheney. Another pickoff attempt not in time. And you're doing a good job here. Be able to get ahead in the count now, 2-1. That's going to be fouled, and it'll even the count up. That's going to be hit straight to the second baseman, Holmes. They'll get the double play. Burris made it over to third. That'll bring up number 9, Simmons Sowell. But now 2 outs and a runner on third. Swung and missed. Sowell grounded out third to end the first inning. That's going to be hit up the middle, and that'll be an RBI single for Simmons Sowell as Burris comes home. Tigers now increase their lead to 6-0. Like we will most likely, or there's a, yep, we will be seeing a pitching change here for Southeastern Oklahoma. The day is done for James Potter. We'll see who Southeastern brings in. It was who was warming up. It was 44. I'm waiting for him to turn around and let me see what number it is. And it is going to be number 44. That is K.C. Bryan, the 6'3" right-hander out of Bowlegs, Oklahoma. While he warms up, we will take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have his numbers for you. You're watching Washita Baseball on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And welcome back to Rad Rogers Field. Like I said, new pitcher for Southeastern will be number 44, K.C. Bryan, coming in with a 3.75 ERA. His 9th appearance of the season, 8 in relief. He's pitched 12 full innings, given up 4 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them earned, walked 12, and struck out 17. Opponent's batting just 105. That's an impressive number for the right-hander. We'll see what the Tigers can do against him here as he inherits 1 base runner and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Tigers lead at 6-0. Bryan is a transfer out of Seminole State College, Seminole, Oklahoma. Very good junior college in Oklahoma. Several of their players go on to play. I've seen several Seminole State players go on to play in Division I ball. One of those was an old high school teammate of mine, and he's now playing at University of Kentucky. But a lot of good athletes come out of Seminole State, and I'm sure Bryan is no different. He'll be facing off against Hayden Childers, the 9-hole batter. He was hit and reached last inning. First pitch missed there for ball 1. Ramirez threatened to throw it back down to first. Childers batting 150 this season. That one will miss for ball 2. That was going to be high and inside. Ball 3. Childers is a sophomore out of Cord, Arkansas, and Batesville High School. Looking to reach base for the 2nd time today. Has not yet recorded an at bat because he got hit last inning. And that one will find the zone to make the count 3-1. So hitters count here for Childers. Despite having a 150 batting average, does have a 333 on base percentage. Sure, that's gone up a little bit after that first hit by pitch. That's going to be swung. That'll be strike 2. So full count here with 2 outs and 1 runner on for Childers. On deck is Reebok, who is 2 for 2 today. The payoff pitch from Bryan. Runner goes, swung on and missed. Strike 3. So that will do it for the 3rd inning. Ouachita does get 1 run across. They lead it 6-0. Be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
And welcome back to Ouachita Baptist University, where your Tigers lead it 6-0 over the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. We are in the top of the 4th, and Skaggs out for another inning of work. Had an impressive performance so far. Skaggs just given up 2 hits so far today. They'll be facing off against the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters. That's Buckner, Rice, and Ortiz. Skaggs' pitch count just at 32 so far today. But coming in with a whip of 145 and a 5.51 ERA. Making his 9th start. First pitch to Buckner is ticked back. Buckner is 1 for 1 with a double today. That came back in the first. That was a 2-out double. That was going to be low and inside for ball 1. That's going to be hit. Skaggs will pick it up and throw it over to Cheney in time for out number 1. Good fielding there by Skaggs to get that first out. That'll bring up Reed Rice, the first baseman. He popped up to 3rd in foul territory in the first inning. An interesting design on Southeastern's jersey as that one misses low. You just saw it on your screen there. So you've got Oklahoma, and then you've got the bat logo under it with Southeastern State. That's going to be skied high, and it looks, yeah, that's going to be out of play. It should land on top of the, or open to land just outside the bullpen there, down left field. Rice batting .242 now this season. That one's going to miss low to make it a 2-1 count. Good breaking ball there from Skaggs. Gets the zone for strike 2. One of the parents in the stands was not quite happy about that call, but it looked good from up here. The 2-2. That's going to be hit foul. So we'll see another 2-2 pitch from Skaggs here coming up. Skaggs pitching from that far side of the rubber. Swung on in, missed. Strike 3. Third strikeout of the day for Skaggs for out number 2. Skaggs is now up to 30 strikeouts on the season. And that'll bring up Slade Ortiz. He singled to lead off the second inning. So he is 1 for 1 today, batting .299. Breaking ball breaks a little bit too far in for ball 1. That's going to be hit over to Cheney. Gets it on the hop. He will toss it over to Skaggs, who makes the play for out number 3. So 2 straight 3-up, 3-down innings for Southeastern Oklahoma State. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Tigers still up 6-0. We'll see if they can add to it after this here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In the number 2 position on our top 30 countdown this week, here's In Your Hands. Hey, are you trying to kill us both?
What?
Are you aware that on average there are almost 10 texting and driving deaths each day?
No, that's awful.
Yeah, it is awful, so don't do it. The text can wait.
Thanks.
Anytime. And now...
Remember, the text can wait.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field. Getting ready for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Tigers still lead at 6-0. This is game 1 of a doubleheader today. We are back to the top of the lineup for the Tigers. So we've got Reebok, Schrader, and Steen due up. First pitch will be swung and missed by Reebok for strike 1. Clouds starting to clear away. You can see a little bit of sunshine poking through here and there. Reebok calls time and steps back out. Reebok is 2 for 2 today, with a homer and a single. That one's going to be outside for ball 1. Reebok now batting an even .300. He's back up to that .300 mark. The 1-1 is going to be hit slowly over to Evans, who will lose it. And throw will not be in time, so it should go down as an error. But either way, another lead-off base runner for the Tigers. And they are 4 for 4 on lead-off batters. That will bring up C-Dub Schrader. Schrader 1 for 2 on today with a single and a pop-up to first. That one got away from Ramirez. And Reebok's able to steal second. Tigers doing a good job on the base path today. The Tigers have now stolen 4 bases. That one's going to be popped up, and it'll get down. So that'll put runners on the corners here. Schrader rounds first. Goes into shallow left, and Herrera could not get there in time. That'll move Reebok over to third. Schrader stands on first here with no outs, and here comes Lewis Steen. Steen 1 for 1 today with an RBI. That RBI came from a sac fly in the second inning. First pitch there from Brian. Called for strike one. Steen batting .287 now with 26 RBI. Hard hit, but it will be foul. Being the senior biology major here at Wichita. That one's going to bounce in the turf, and Schrader will head on into second. That'll be a 1-2 count here on Steen as Schrader is now standing on second. So both runners in scoring position for the Tigers with no outs. Steen is now tied with Reebok for the lead in home runs. We'll see if he wants to give Reebok a run for his money here on that one. He had 4 last weekend in Monticello against the Boll Weevils. 1-2 count here. He's going to have to battle with 2 strikes. That's going to be hit deep into left field. Herrera goes back at the wall, and it is gone. Oh, it is not. That went off the wall. From where it was at first, I had lost it. I thought it was gone, but it went off the wall. But an RBI double for Lewis Steen. Said, sorry, I thought that one looked really good off the bat. I thought that one was out of here, but it gets off the top of the wall. So another run does score as Reebok came in. Schrader made it over to third. That's going to be swung on and missed there by Mitchell for out number 1. That was a great hit there by Steen. That one will be swung on and missed for strike 2. If the wind was blowing slightly to the left, that one definitely would have been out of here. That was a great hit by Steen, who now stands on second base. So runners still on second and third for Ouachita. Tigers lead at 7-0. Ooh, that one was high. That'll be ball 2. Sorry, ball 1 according to the scoreboard here, so 1-2 count to Mitchell. Schrader getting his lead over at third. Still nobody out here for Mitchum. That one's going to get away, but Schrader does not go. Mitchum 0 for 2 on today with a pop-up to first and to fly out to right. So he's hit both of them towards the opposite field direction. Mitchum batting .218 now on the year. That one will be foul tipped, so Mitchum gets another chance. See another 2-2 pitch here coming up from Brian. Mitchum doing a good job battling here. That one's going to be chopped. Schrader goes. There's a play at the plate. In time. It was close. But Mitchum will reach on the fielder's choice. That's still just the first out. Steen made it over to third on that one. Got to bring up Cade Burris. That was a good play there. A good play there by Evans. Make that one. First pitch there from Brian finds the zone. Strike one. Yeah, you got to give credit on that one. Like I said, third baseman Evans made a good play getting it back to Ramirez just in time to tag out Trader trying to come home. So that was the first out. Runners on the corners now. Mitchum goes, fouled back into the net. He'll come back. Bit of a hit and run situation there with runners on the corners. We'll see if they call it again. Now an 0-2 count here on Burris. Batting .306 now. 1 for 1 on the day with a walk, 2-run score. That one's going to be low. Good block there by Ramirez to keep that one in front of him. I count 1 and 2. Going to just miss the zone and even the count up at 2 and 2. Mitchum started to go but came back. Good choice, as he most likely would have been thrown out. Trying to steal there. They're getting a pretty good lead. They've got Rice on him, trying to keep him at first. We haven't seen Bryant really attempt a pickoff move. Mitchum goes again. That's going to be skied up. Mitchum's going to have to go back. Evans makes the grab for out number 2 in foul territory. Mitchell makes it back to first in time, so that'll bring up Cole Kelly. Kelly 1 for 1 of the day with an RBI coming from a sac fly in the first. Singled back in the third and got caught up in a double play last inning. Redshirt senior out of Independence, Mississippi, majoring in kinesiology here at Ouachita. That's going to be hit up the middle, fielded by Holmes. Brian had to be, that was a great play there by Brian, going over to cover first and get that third out. Well, that will do it for the fourth inning. Tigers get another run. They now lead it 7-0. We'll take another quick break and be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And welcome back to Rad Rogers Field here for the top half of the fifth inning. Tigers leading at 7-0 for the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State. Skaggs out for another inning of work. Leading off is going to be number 14. He's going to hit that one deep into left center. And that's going to be out of here. So it'll be the first base run, or first run of the game for Southeastern. A leadoff home run for Aaron Herrera. Prior to that, Tigers had retired 9 straight. But So no longer a shutout. Tigers now just have a 6-run lead as Hayden Evans steps up. Evans 0 for 1 of the day. First pitch there from Skaggs. Finds the zone. Strike one. Evans batting .273 this season. See, the last time up, Evans flew out to Mitchell Mountain Center. 1-1 count here. The 1-1. Breaking ball outside, ball 2. Going to be swung in and missed. Strike 2, and the count evens up. That was the 7th home run given up by Skaggs this season. That was going to be low, and the count runs full. That was just the 2nd of the year for Herrera. Payoff pitch here from Skaggs. Hit over to Schrader, scoops it up, and throws over to Cheney for out number 1. And that will bring up number 11, Riley Holmes. So 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Back in the 2nd inning. Holmes batting .197 for the Storm this year. Going in, missed. Strike 1. Holmes making his 22nd start today. Swung and missed for strike 2. Holmes, a freshman for Southeastern this year. That's when we hit over to Reebok. Fair ball. Reebok's going to throw it all the way across the diamond, and he gets it in time to Cheney for out number 2. I'll bring it up. Shortstop number 7, Dylan Hurd, another freshman for this team. Very young team. All but two of the starters are sophomores or freshmen. 2 seniors also starting. That is Ortiz and Buckner. But other than that, it's sophomores and freshmen. That one's going to be a little bit outside for ball 1. Dylan Hurd batting .228. 0 for 1 today. That one's going to be up in the zone. Ball 2. Fastball there finds the zone for strike 1. Decent crowd on hand here today at Rab Rogers. And we'll find the zone and even the count up at 2-2. Skaggs trying to finish this inning with just 4 batters faced. That's going to be hit over to Reebok. Fair. Another long throw ahead. Cheney's got to scoop it. They're going to say he left the bag. From up here, it didn't look like it, but that's what the umpire's going to rule. That'll go down as should go down as a hit, as it's not an error on anybody. They'll go down as another hit, and we're back to the top of the lineup with Seth Morrow. Morrow batting .416. Coming into this weekend, he was number 2 in the GAC. That's going to be hit over to Schrader. Scoops it up and throws it over to Cheney for out number 3. The Southeastern gets 1 back on the solo home run for Aaron Herrera. But that's it. So 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they'll leave 1 on base. The Tigers lead it by 6. Take a quick break and be right back here with the bottom half of the 5th inning on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
And we are back here at Rab Rogers, getting ready for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Ouachita leads at 7-1. Due up for the Tigers will be 7, 8, and 9. That's Jackson Cheney, Simmons Sal, and Hayden Childers. They'll be seeing their 3rd plate appearances today. Cheney steps in. 0 for 1 in the game so far. No, 1 for 2. First pitch there from Brian goes low for ball 1. Cheney's reached base once today back in the 1st. Just an update from around the conference. That's going to be chopped over to Evans at 3rd. Scoops it up on the run and throws over in time to Rice for out for 1. A little bit of GAC update from around the conference. UAM leads Southern Nazarene 23-1 in the top of the 5th inning. UAM's the team that Ouachita won the series against last weekend. That'll bring up Simmons Sal. High and inside. Ball 1. That one's going to find the zone for strike 1 to Sal. That'll be fouled back for strike 2. That one's going to be fouled back out of play. We'll see another 1-2 count coming up. That's going to be hit right up the middle for a base hit with 1 out here for Simmons Sal. That will bring up Hayden Childers. Childers 0 for 1 today with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. Update from Weatherford, Oklahoma. Southwestern Oklahoma leads Arkansas Tech 8-6 in the bottom of the 7th. But that goes back into the net, bounces off the net. That'll be strike 1 on Childers. Across the street, Henderson State is playing East Central. We are waiting for the live stats to load on that one so I can bring you that score. As Childers gets ready to see the 0-1. Up high, ball 1. Henderson State leads ECU 10-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. That was going to be low. Ball 2. And Harding currently leads Northwestern Oklahoma State 6-1 in the top of the 8th in game 1. Now a 3-1 count on Children's. The Women's GAC Soccer Championship started just a few minutes ago between Ouachita and Oklahoma Baptist. That was a strike 2. Childers thought it was strike 3, so it's a full count here on Childers. 16 minutes into the first half. It's still tied up between the two OBUs. And you've got Oklahoma Baptist and Ouachita Baptist duking it out in the GAC Women's Soccer Championship, and that was going to be swung and missed for out number 2. That will bring up Tyler Reebok back to the top of the lineup. Reebok 2 for 3 today. First pitch finds the zone, strike 1. Reebok's batting average now at .297. Got an 0-1 count here. Ooh, catches that outside part of the zone, strike 2. Reebok now has to battle here. Reebok, one of the, I believe, one of the only Tigers with a positive walk to strikeout ratio. That one's going to go low for ball 1. Reebok leads the GAC in walks with 28 coming into this weekend. He's got 28 walks and 25 strikeouts on the year. That gives you an on-base percentage near 500, 471. So the 1-2, low and outside, ball 2, the throw down. No, he lost the ball. He's got to get on the bag. Should be safe, and it will be safe because Hurd lost the ball. Good job there by Sal getting over there. It's like Sal, well, he kind of jumped awkwardly there, and we'll have a quick checkup on him out there at second. It was a fairly awkward landing there for Sal. Looks like he's okay. Now Coach Howard going out to check on him. To the assistant coaches and the athletic trainer. Appears to all be okay. So it should be a 2-2 count here on Reebok with 2 outs. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 at the plate. Reebok being 2 for 3 on the day with a homer. He scored 2 runs and does have a stolen base to his. That one's going to be high, and it'll run the count full. See if Reebok can find a way on base here with 2 outs. Payoff pitch from Brian. That's going to be hit. That's going to be hit fair into right. They're going to send Sal around third. Reebok's going to have to get back to first, but that'll be an RBI single. Scoring Sal from second. Brings the Tiger lead back to 7 and makes the score 8-1. Some great 2-out hitting there. Just got under the glove of Rice at first. Was able to give enough time to send Sal around. That'll bring up C-Dub Schrader. Schrader 2 for 3 today as well, batting .296 now on the season. Got a runner on 2 out. Reebok goes. Here's a throw from Ramirez, not in time and off the mark. So another stolen base for Tyler Reebok. That one missed the zone, so it'll be a 1-0 count on Schrader, the sophomore out of Red Oak, Texas. Lubot getting another pretty good sized lead at second. That one must have been low in the zone for ball 2. Update from Oklahoma. Southeastern leads Washita 1-0 in the bottom of the third in softball. Tigers looking to come back on that one as that one finds a zone for strike 1. No, it says it's a 1-1 count now. He missed one. That was going to bounce. It'll make it a 2-1 count now. I was going to say bounce in the dirt, but not dirt there around home plate anymore. It is turf. Got that last season. This will be its first full season of use here at Rab Rogers Field. The 2-1 outside, ball 3. 3-1 count here on Schrader. (3-1) low, and it'll be a walk for Schrader. That'll put 2 runners on here with 2 outs. Looks like we'll have another quick word out there on the mound between coach. And that cues the Seinfeld music once again. No action down there in the Southeastern bullpen right now. No action in either bullpen. This will most likely be Brian's inning to finish. 2 outs and 2 on. And runners on first and second for Washita as they lead it 8-1. Coming to the plate now is Lewis Steen. Steen 2 for 2 today with 2 RBI. He's got 2 hits, scored 1 run, got those 2 RBI. Yeah, he's had a double, stolen base, and a sac fly. The sac fly was back in the second. Runners go. Reebok dives into third in time. Both runners advance. Another stolen base for Tyler Reebok. I don't know if you could hear the sound effects there, but it was the sound of a race car going around a corner. We know 1 count here on Steen. That one did find the zone for strike 1. The 0-1 outside, ball 1. Got a 1-1 count on Steen. Up high, ball 2. Mentioned this last time, and Steen almost put 1 out. So, like I said, him and Reebok are tied at 5 home runs apiece. Said Steen had 4 last weekend against UAM, including 2 grand slams in the same game. Actually, that one's going to be lined or hit foul. But yeah, last weekend in game 1, it was a big comeback where the Tigers scored 6 in the top of the 9th. Steen had 1 grand slam, and he had 1 earlier in the day. That's what earned him the Code GAC Player of the Week honors this year. The 2-2 fouled back into the net. Steen had been due for a weekend like that, as every game that I'd seen called here, he had hit several off the fence. He's done it once today. Part of that RBI double. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here, and 2 runners on. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that ends the inning. Tigers do get another run across on a few hits. Tigers lead it 8-1 over Southeastern Oklahoma. We'll take another quick break and be right back here on the Washita Sports Digital Network. welcome back to Rad Rogers Field for the top half of the 6th inning. Skaggs out for his 6th inning of work. Tigers with a 7-run lead over the Savage Storm. Due up for Southeastern will be 2, 3, and 4, Ramirez, Buckner, and Rice. Starting off with a breaking ball there, a little bit too far outside for ball 1. Ramirez is 0 for 2 today. That one misses as well for ball 2. No action in the Tiger bullpen. That one must have missed just low. It's 3-0 count. Skaggs pitch count just at 60. The 3-0 fastball. Strike 1. Ramirez batting .302. Three-one count. Skaggs gonna have to battle from behind here. Ooh, Ramirez thought it was ball 4, but it was called strike 2. Good job by Skaggs battling back to run the count full. Tigers with a fairly solid lead here. That's gonna be chopped foul. So no lead is truly safe in baseball. But Skaggs has put together an impressive performance so far today on the mound. Just a 1 run on 3 hits. Another payoff pitch. That's going to be a leadoff walk. The first walk of the day for Skaggs. That'll bring up Colton Buckner, who is 1 for 2 today with a double and a ground out to Skaggs. Come on with the runner on and no out. That'll get away from Childers. And Ramirez will head on into second off the pass ball. And Coach Howard's going to come out and have a quick word with Skaggs. Sure, this is just one of those encouraging talks as there's no action in the bullpen. They're saying, hey, you're still good. We're up by 7. You just need to settle in here, throw strikes. That's what you're good at. I mean, you tell a pitcher to throw strikes, so that's pretty obvious. That's what they're supposed to do. But everything's all good. You just walked the 1 and given up the 1 run, and that was last inning. Other than the homer, Ramirez at second, the farthest a batter has reached today. Buckner has done it once as well. That's going to be fouled out of play for strike. So a 1-1 count here on Buckner. Batting .327, and that one he'll swing and miss at that one for strike 2. Gang seemed to have settled down after the encouraging talk from Coach Howard. Here's getting his lead there at second. That's going to be hit foul down third baseline. Count stays 1-2. Now, while Southeastern's mascot is the Savage Storm, but on their website, the logo, I guess their secondary logo is a bison. So I guess that means we have 3 bison mascots in the GAC. And that one's going to just miss that zone for ball 2. So 3 bison, or I guess you have the Savage Storm, whose logo is a bison. Oklahoma Baptist, who are the bison. Then Harding, who are the bisons. So variations of it, but all have the same mascot, at least as a logo. That's going to be fouled away for another. We'll see another 2-2 pitch. But the JAC has to have some of the weirdest mascots all put together in one conference than any other conference. I mean, you've got the Savage Storm that we're playing right here in Southeast. You've got the Crimson Storm of Southern Nazarene, who is not faring well against UAM. You've got you've got the Bison and then the Bisons. You've got the Reddies across the street. Ooh, that one just missed to run the count full. You got the Reddies, whatever a Reddy is. You've got speaking of, we said UAM against Southern Nazarene. UAM's the Boll Weevils. They chose a Boll Weevil as their mascot. And then Arkansas Tech's the Wonder Boys. And UAM and Arkansas Tech both have different mascots for their men's and women's. Payoff pitch is going to be hit foul. A hard hit foul ball, but still a foul ball. So Arkansas Tech, the men's teams are the Wonder Boys. The women's team are the Golden Suns. UAM, you've got the Boll Weevils, and then you've got the Cotton Blossoms, because I guess the women's teams didn't want to be the Boll Weevil. And you've got your somewhat normal mascots, with Washita having Tigers, and swung on and missed for strikeout and out number 1. Another strikeout there for Skaggs. And then you've kind of got your somewhat normal mascots with Washita and ECU both being the Tigers. You've got Southwestern Oklahoma being the Bulldogs, and Northwestern Oklahoma State as the Rangers. So an interesting grouping of mascots. Now, I don't believe I am missing anybody. I believe that was all the teams. So 1-0 count here on Reed Rice, who's 0 for 2 today. Called strike 2. I think I've gone over everybody there. I said Northwestern's the Rangers. I'd put that as kind of the normal mascot category when compared to Reddies and Boll Weevils and Storms. 1-1. That one missed for ball 2. A 2-1 count here on Rice. Rice batting .240 now on the season. No call time and step out. The 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. Tigers still leading by 7. Does that one miss the zone for ball 3? But even when Washita was in the Gulf South Conference, they had a couple of interesting mascots over there. The main one that comes to mind is Delta State with the Statesman. Then their secondary mascot, good pitch there from Skaggs for strike 2. But their secondary mascot being the Fighting Okra. Interesting mascot. A lot of these smaller schools, you see some really interesting mascots around, especially around the South. That's going to be fouled back, and we'll see another count will stay full. We'll see a payoff pitch on the way from Skaggs here. 1 out. On the way, that's going to be popped up out of play. So we'll see another one coming up. Rice doing a good job battling so far. A payoff pitch coming up. Or another payoff pitch. Popped up out of play again. Seeing a great at bat here by Reed Rice. The Rice is a freshman out of Keller, Texas, and Keller High School. Listed as a utility player. I've got him playing first today. He's only been walked 4 times this year. Struck out 29. So that's going to be hit straight to Sowell. We'll check the runner at second. Gets him going back. So look at the lead runner. So instead of going for the out over at first, Sowell pitches it over to Schrader there to get the lead runner. Although I guess you'd call that a fielder's choice. Let's read it first. And Ramirez gets out the 6-4 for out number 2. So that'll bring up Slade Ortiz. That's going to be hit back into the net for strike 1 on Ortiz. So I've got it pulled up here of the old members of the Gulf South Conference, because I knew there were some interesting ones there. You had UCA, which are the Bears, but the girls' teams at Central Arkansas are the Sugar Bears. You've got Lincoln Memorial University. Is that one going to be swung and missed for strike 2? Or no, that one's just out. I missed that one for ball 1. So you've got Lincoln Memorial University out of Tennessee as the Rail Splitters. They're down in the South Atlantic Conference. That one will miss for ball 2. You also had the Privateers of University of New Orleans, the Colonels of Nichols State, the Demons of Northwestern State. That one's going to miss, so a 3-1 count here. Skaggs going to have to battle back again. The Skyhawks of UT Martin. A few of these have have gone to Division I schools now. Just some interesting mascots. Those are the former members of the Gulf South. You got some affiliate members who you got the Crusaders of North Greenville University. And the Argonauts currently of West Florida. Just some interesting mascots around, especially some of these smaller conferences. That one will be called for strike 1. I didn't mention it, but Ortiz was walked there by Skaggs. Second walk of the day and second of the inning for Skaggs. Still 2 outs. You get out of it fairly quickly. Skaggs up to 91 pitches. He came in here with 60 and 30 pitches this inning. As that one misses. Still nobody in the bullpen for the Tigers. Coach Howard letting Skaggs have this inning to finish. Now we might see a new pitcher come in depending on what his pitch count is after this. Got 2 outs, so even get out of 1-1 count on Herrera. That one's going to be hit to Sal. Scoops it over to Schrader for out number 3. So that will do it for the 6th inning. So Southeastern gets a few on, but can't get any of them around. Tigers still lead at 8-1. We'll take a quick break and be right back with the bottom half of the 6th here on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I've heard people say, Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Washita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers here at Ouachita Baptist University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. The bottom half of the 6th inning. Ouachita looking to add to their 7-run lead here. And due up is going to be 4, 5, and 6. Pierce Mitchum, Cade Burris, and Cole Kelly. Mitchum stepping into the box now. He is 0 for 2 today. 0 for 3 with fielder's choice. That's going to be hit over to Hurd. Throws it over to Rice for out number 1. That will bring up Cade Burris here with 1 out. Burris 1 for 2 today with a walk, a single and 2 runs scored, and a pop-up over to third. That was his last at bat, 4th. Burris batting .303 on the season, a sophomore out of Walnut Ridge. First pitch there from Bryant. Finds his zone for strike 1. Called strike 2. Bryant has now pitched 2 2/3 innings so far today after coming in the 3rd. Came in with 2 outs in the 3rd to take over for the starter, Potter. Burris has the battle here with 2 strikes, and with that one, a single right up into center field. So 1 out, base hit there for Cade Burris. That'll bring up the designated hitter, number 15, Cole Kelly. Kelly is 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Last time up, he grounded out to second. First pitch comes in for a strike. Burris threatened to steal, but came back. A 0-1 count here with 1 out, 1 runner on. Pickoff attempt not in time. The halftime update from Oklahoma Baptist. As can be called strike 2, but the GAC Women's Soccer Championship is tied up 0-0 at the half between Ouachita and Oklahoma Baptist. Update for softball, top of the 6th, Southeastern still leads it 1-0. Some good games going on today for Ouachita at least. That's going to be popped up, and it might be out of play, but it's going to be into first base territory. Rice comes over and makes the grab for out number 2. But the Ouachita women's soccer team in the GAC championship for the first time since 2014. They've had some good records. They hadn't quite made it back to the championship, but this year they have. They're taking on the top-seeded Oklahoma Baptist. It's the 1 and the 2 seeds, so both OBUs were 1 and 2. That one's going to be a ball, but throw is that time in time, and that'll end it. So that will do it for the 6th inning. Tigers go more or less 3 up, 3 down as Burris was caught stealing on that one to end it. So no runs, no hits, no error, or no runs on 1 hit and no errors. The first inning today, the Tigers have not scored. We'll take another break. Skaggs still on the mound. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement.
Welcome back, and that's going to be a leadoff home run for number 3, Hayden Evans. He hit that one out to right field, so that'll make the score 8-2. Ouachita back down to a 6-run lead here. The only 2 runs today have both come from solo shots. That time it was from Hayden Evans, the third baseman. So that'll bring up Riley Holmes, who is 0 for 2 today, batting 194 on the season. That one missed. I guess that was up high. Ball 1. Said Skaggs out for another inning of work. Nobody in the bullpen for the Tigers. The Tigers having a lead. I'm not sure who would come in relief today. Usually we've seen Cooper Timmons coming in relief. He leads the GAC in appearances and games in relief. He was also a co-pitcher of the week. And looks like we have Carter Wade heading down there now to the bullpen. That one's going to miss and run the count to 3-0. 3-0 called. Strike 1. That was going to be fouled back. Yeah. Going off the theme of mascots that I kind of mentioned earlier, that were the college mascots around the area in the GAC and the old Gulf South Conference. Arkansas has its fair share of interesting mascots. Just got a message of a list of those from Luke Robertson, our director today for game 1. I've called a few games against some of these. You've got the Cave City Cavemen and Cave Women, the Hermitage Hermits. You've got the Ozark Hillbillies. That's going to be swung on and missed. A big strikeout there for Skaggs for out number 1. That would be the 5th strikeout of the day for Skaggs. And then I bring up Dylan Hurd. Hurd 1 for 2 on the day. You've got the Danville Little John, the Dardanelle Sand Lizards, Harrison Goblins, the Conway Wampus Cats, which, if you're not sure what a Wampus Cat is, it's like a mountain lion with 6 legs. That's all a Wampus Cat is. But apparently it also has magical powers. That one's going to be low for ball 2. You've got, like I said, the Harrison Goblins, the Monticello Billies, and then you have the Fordyce Red Bugs. It's an interesting, they're going to lay down a bunt there and go in the box. It'll be a foul ball for strike 1. Just an interesting group of mascots in Arkansas. So for the most part, those are your smaller schools. Harrison and Conway both fairly large. But just interesting. You've also got the Stuttgart Ricebirds. That's going to be swung and missed for strike 2. There's a couple of Dragons. You got Junction City and DeWitt. Both of them are the Dragons. That's going to be fouled. So we'll see another 2-2 count. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of your basic mascots, your Bulldogs, your Tigers, your Lions, your Eagles. Those sorts of mascots as well, but also some interesting. You also got the Valley View Blazers. Just kind of recall some that I remember either playing against or just seeing. That one's going to be found back and out of play. But yeah, just some interesting names that people have come up with over the years for their mascot. Just got an update that Fordyce, the Red Bugs, that one's going to be popped up. That might be playable. It's going to be in foul territory. Childers calls everybody's off. Ooh, and he slipped in the mud over there right in front of the dugout, so he couldn't quite make the grab. So it'll be another 2-2 pitch. But yeah, Fordyce with the Red Bugs is the only school in America with that as a mascot. Same with Harrison and the Goblins. Harrison usually has some pretty good sports team. Said Harrison usually has some pretty solid sports teams up in that area. My high school, Whitehall, played against them in the 2015 state championship. That one's going to be another strikeout. Make it 2 in a row and 6 on the day for Skaggs. I'm not sure. I mean, we've got a meeting out here on the mound. I don't know if it's going to be in for Skaggs. He just struck it out 2 in a row. We've got Carter Wade in the bullpen warming up, the lefty senior out of Little Rock. So we'll see if this is just an encouraging thing. No, it looks like the day's going to be done for Skaggs. So he'll strike out 2 here in the 7th. He's given up just the 2 runs. I mean, the day's done. He can close the books. There's no base runners on Skaggs. A great day so far. He ended up throwing 109 pitches, so that's probably part of the reason there. We'll have Carter Wade coming in. That's going to be number 12. We'll take a quick break while Wade warms up, and we'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And welcome back to Rav Rogers Field. Like I said, on the mound now is Carter Wade, the senior lefty. That is senior out of Little Rock, Arkansas, graduate of Little Rock Christian Academy, majoring in accounting and finance for the here at Ouachita. Comes in with an 8.10 ERA, 1.88 WHIP. This will be his 14th appearance, which is good for second in the Great American Conference this season. All appearances have been in relief. He's pitched 13 1/3 innings, giving up 12 earned runs, struck out 10, and walked 7. Has given up a few homers this year, but comes in with a fairly, I would call it a comfortable 6-run lead. You know, no run's ever really safe, but I feel like this would almost be considered a comfortable lead. But the person at the plate here with 2 outs is one of the leading batters in the GAC. He was second coming into the day in Seth Morrow, but Morrow is also 0 for 3. Batting .412 on the season now. Like I said, batting .424 coming in. 0 for 3. We'll see what happens here with Wade, the lefty. That one's going to cut across. A good pitch from Wade for strike 1. That's going to be hard hit, foul for strike 2. There's one mascot I can't believe I forgot to mention. It's not a very weird mascot, but it's the humor behind it. It's the Arkansas School for the Deaf, which that also has an interesting tie to Ouachita. But their mascot they're the leopards. So they're the deaf leopards, which was they made that choice after they knew the choice they made when they chose that mascot. That one missed. It'll be a 1-2. That's going to be hit right back up to Wade. It'll go up. That'll be the first hit of the day for Morrow. So that'll give us a base runner here with 1 out, or with 2 outs for Southeastern, and that'll bring up Ramirez. Ramirez is 0 for 2 today with a walk. But I said that connection with Arkansas School for the Deaf. Ouachita's men's head basketball coach, Dennis Nutt, his father was a longtime coach and athletic director up there in Little Rock at the School for the Deaf. Coach Nutt is fluent in sign language, and usually every year, this year it didn't happen because of COVID, but the School for the Deaf will make a trip down here, and their cheerleaders will perform with hours at halftime. And they come in and, take in a game down here, and it just kind of shows that lasting relationship between Coach Nutt and his dad and the School for the Deaf in Washita, which is just an interesting connection that you don't see many places. That one's there's going to miss a low, and it'll be a 2-0 count here on Ramirez. That'll be a 3-0 count here now. I'm just stuck looking up mascots here at this point. Is that one's going to be, ooh, that's a good pitch there for the zone for 3-1, or to make it 3-1. So I've just got pulled up a list of mascots, and they show with, like, the most popular in Arkansas is a Wildcat, but it shows the ones that mascot named only by one. That's going to be hit into right field. Steen comes over. It'll be in foul territory. Couldn't quite get there. That'll be strike 2. Full count now. So it denotes that it's a mascot used by only one school in Arkansas. And there's also a little thing that says if it's used by anywhere else in the country. You've also got the Alma Airedales, which is a dog, a type of dog. So that's only one in the country with that. You've got the Charging Wildcats, which I believe that's North Little Rock. You've got the Devil Dogs of Morrilton. I actually don't know where the Daredevils belong to. That one's a new one that I've seen. Like I said, we mentioned. We also have the Go Devils of Gurdon, which is just down the road from Arkadelphia. That's going to be hit up the middle, bounces off. Schrader scoops it up and gets it to Cheney in time to end the inning. So a 4-3 play there ends it. Southeastern gets one run back on the solo shot from Hayden Evans, but that's it. So that'll take us to the bottom half of the 7th. We'll take a quick break, and I'm sure we'll have more mascot names for you when we come back. You're watching the Washita Sports Digital Network. And welcome back to Rav Rogers Field for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Brian still on the mound for another inning of work for Southeastern. And due up for the Tigers will be Jackson Cheney. So that's going to be 7, 8, 9. Cheney, Sowell, and Childers due up. First pitch there from Brian finds the zone. There's an 0-1 count here to Cheney. That one will be fouled back. It'll be an 0-2 count now. Just got an update. So I mentioned the Daredevils. That's actually the Wonderview Daredevils. Thank you to my director, Chris Babb, on that one. You've also got, like I said, I mentioned the Dardanelle Sand Lizards. That's the only one in the country with that one. You also have the Screaming Eagles and the Southerners. Just some interesting. One school has a mascot of a squirrel. Just some like these aren't the lone ones in the country. I know there's one that has a deer, or we also have the elks, and that's gonna be called strike 3 on Cheney. First called strikeout of the day for either squad. That'll bring up Simmons Sowell. You've also got the Hustlers. You've got the Lono, or the Jackrabbits of Lono, the Kangaroos, the Ramblers, the Pointers, that's Van Buren, the Red Hawks, just got in my ear about a Texas mascot. That one swung it and missed. In Mesquite, Texas, they were the Mesquite Skeeters. Well, there's you another fun one from the next state over. And the New Braunfels Unicorns. This is an interesting rabbit hole we have decided to go down today on this broadcast. That's going to be popped up out of play, and we'll see another 0-2 count. Like I said, what a rabbit hole on this broadcast today. I didn't expect to be going down this one. But yeah, you also have Bearcats, which is Melbourne. But Bearcats isn't different, but this one's spelled with a K and a Z, so it makes it different. So it's Bearkatz. They have a good women's basketball program. They just won state for like the third time in a row. I forgot the Ambassadors and the Senators. You also have the Antlers. Oh, yeah, I remember Antlers. The name of this high school is Deer, so it's the Deer Antlers. The 0-2 hit in play, scooped up by Hurd, and throws it across to Rice in time for out number 2. And that'll bring up Hayden Childers, the 9-hole batter for the Tigers. Childers 0 for 2 today. 2 strikeouts so far and a hit by pitch. That's going to be popped up into left field. Herrera gets under it, makes the grab to end the inning. And that will do it for the 7th inning. Take another quick break and be right back here with the 8th here on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And welcome back. We have another new pitcher here on the mound for the Tigers. This time it is number 14, Garrett Hermes. Hermes, a new transfer in this year. A senior out of Rowlett, Texas. Transferred in out of Sam Houston State. Get you some stats brought up for Hermes. Comes in with an 8.5 ERA. This will be his 9th appearance and his 2nd in relief so far this season. Got a win-loss record of 1-4. He's pitched 24 1/3 innings and given up 23 earned runs there. Struck out 17 and walked 5. One of the better walk-to-strikeout ratios on the team this year. Opponents batting .374 against him. We'll see what he does here as Tigers still have a 6-run lead. They're up 8-2 and due up for Southeastern will be 3, 4, and 5. So Buckner, Rice, and Ortiz. Buckner was at bat at the end of last one, but it was a caught stealing situation there. Or it was not, no. That was sorry, I had that backwards from the previous inning there. When Buckner up here, he is 1 for 2 on the day. That one will be hit into left field for a leadoff single. That'll bring up Reed Rice. Rice over 3 today with a strikeout, batting .238 on the season. That pitch there will miss for ball 1. That one's going to be low. It'll be ball 2. Was just sent a list of the 15 of the worst college mascots of all time. This rabbit hole just keeps going further. The 2-0 up high for ball 3. You've got the Stanford tree of Stanford University, which that one's just, I don't know if I'd call that one of the worst. It's definitely not one of the best. It's just kind of weird. You've got Wushak or Wushak, the wheat stalk of Wichita State. Didn't know it had a name. That one's going to be called for strike 1 to bring it 3-1 count. Sammy the Slug of UC Santa Cruz. I think they're the Banana Slugs. That sounds right. And then it mentions the Fighting Okra of Delta State. That one's going to be up high, so that'll be a walk. So 2 on here to start the inning. No action in the bullpen right now. We got the Fighting Pickle of University of North Carolina School of the Arts. Speedy the Geoduck for Evergreen State College. Keggy the Keg of Dartmouth College. Colonel Cobb, which I'm assuming is a corn cob for Concordia College. Artie the Artichoke of Scottsdale Community College. Big Red of Western Kentucky, which their mascot is a hilltopper. He's just he looks like a red version of Grimace from the McDonald's, old McDonald's thing, Grimace. You've got the Battling Bishop of Ohio Wesleyan, the Blue Blob of Xavier University, Wheezy the Boll Weevil, you have UAM. That's going to be hit into center. It'll get down. Buckner goes into third, and he'll hold up. So bases loaded with no out here for Southeastern. For the left fielder, Aaron Herrera. Herrera does have a homer today. That's his 1 hit. He's 1 for 3. Got some action in the bullpen again. That's Skaggs going to I see Cooper Timmons in there now. He's become one of the main closers for the Tigers this season. That one will miss for ball 1. So Hermie's struggling a little bit here on the start. You've got Mortimer McPestle of St. Louis College of Pharmacy. Then Timok the Comet. That's just Comet spelled backwards. Get that name, of the University of Texas at Dallas. So there's a fun list. You also got the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest, the Syracuse Orange. Just, there's always some interesting mascots around. That one will be swung on and missed for strike 2. Hermie's trying to get out of a jam. So warming up in the bullpen now is going to be Cooper Timmons, number 10. That's going to be hit. It's going to be shallow, and it'll be caught by Schrader over there on the infield. So that'll be the first out of the inning, and that brings up Hayden Evans, who also has a homer today and is 1 for 3. Women's soccer update. It's still tied at 0 with 35 minutes left in the second half of the championship match in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Well, last week, it's come down to penalty kicks last weekend here. That's going to be a big swing and a miss there for strike. That's going to be called for strike 2. The 0-2 called strike 3. So just like that, we had bases loaded, no outs, but now it's bases loaded and 2 outs. We'll now have a pinch hitter coming in, number 25, pinch hitting for Riley Holmes. That is Blake McQuain. First pitch called, strike 1. McQuain batting .542 in 24 at-bats, getting 13 hits, slugging .708. So he's coming, I'm assuming, this pinch hitter role. He's only started 3 games, but he's making his 20th appearance, so I'm assuming his role is mostly as a pinch hitter. We see that here. So batting .542, slugging .708, and on base with .613. Swung and missed, strike 2. Hermes now 1 strike away from getting out of this bases loaded jam. The head 1-2, here's the pitch, hit right back to him, scoops it up in the glove on a snag, and throws over to Hermes to get out of the inning, and no runs scored. Hermes got the bases loaded with no outs, and then gets 3 straight to end it and get out of the jam. What a great performance there by Hermes, to way to settle in and get those outs. So that'll do it for the top half of the 8th. We'll go to the bottom. Ouachita still leading 8-2. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers. Getting ready for the bottom half of the 8th inning. Due up. We're at the top of the lineup, and Tyler Reebok, he'll swing at that one and tip it foul for strike 1. Reebok is 4 for 3 today, making his 5th plate appearance. That's going to be hit deep into left center. Oh, it'll get by Ortiz right under his glove, and so Reebok will be standing on second. What was a routine foul or routine fly ball? I mean, it was on the warning track, but it just goes right past the glove of Ortiz. I'm assuming that they're going to call it a double because I guess it didn't touch the glove of Ortiz, so it can't be called an error. That'll bring up C-Dub Schrader. Schrader's made it on base a few times today. That's going to be hit foul for strike 2. Brian back on the mound. That one's going to be high for ball 1. Okay, I'm currently just going down another list of interesting. I don't know where that one missed, but that one did miss for ball 2. Of just weird mascots. We've got the Friar of Providence College, which is the mascot costume I'm looking at is just weird. Like, not sure how I feel about that one. You've got the Billiken of St. Louis University. That one will miss, and we'll run the count full. Schrader doing a good job of bringing that one back. You also got the Cayenne Pepper. That's one of the, I guess maybe the secondary mascot of Louisiana of Lafayette. The Ragin' Cajun, somebody using a pepper, I guess makes sense. Just some interesting mascots around the country, and a fun rabbit hole we've gone through today for today's game. So full count here to Schrader from Brian. Payoff pitch on the way. Fouled back, we'll see another one. You also got Zippy the Kangaroo from Akron. They're the Zips. And one mascot that you can't, I mean, you just got, that one's going to be hit fair. Fair ball down the right field line. That should score Reebok. He'll round third. Schrader will hold up at first. And Reebok will jog on in home for an RBI, after an RBI single from C-Dub Schrader to make it 9-2 Ouachita. You've got UC Irvine, which has a Peter the Anteater. That one's the first pitch there is going to be fine the zone for strike 1. Final update from Southeastern Oklahoma. Southeastern softball defeats Ouachita and sweeps the double header. That one will get away and send Schrader on into second. Like I said, softball drops both games today. They're now 500 on the year at 15-15. They'll see what they can do tomorrow in the game 3. But Southeastern was the number 1 team in the GAC, and they're number 1 for a reason. Check swing there. Oh, they're going to say it went, or it was a strike anyway, so it'll be strike 2 on Steen. So we're Ouachita, this bottom part of the schedule is kind of going up against the bottom part of the standings in the GAC, with Southeastern 1 above them and the two below Ouachita in baseball, and that's going to be a strikeout of Steen, his second of the day. Route number 1. That will bring up Pierce Mitchell. And it looks like we might be seeing a pitching change, or might just be a talk on the mound. But like I was saying, the next 2 series, or 2 of the next series for Ouachita, they've got ECU at ECU next weekend, and ECU is the team directly below them. And then you've got Southern Nazarene on May 7th and 8th. That was a reschedule. Southern Naz is near the bottom, or they are the last team of the GAC for baseball. Looks like we will be seeing a new pitcher coming in for Southeastern. Kind of the opposite for softball, as Southern Naz and Southeastern are 2 of the top. And it looks like it's going to be number 34 coming in. That is Joseph Bishop, a sophomore right-hander for Southeastern Oklahoma State. We'll take a quick break, and we'll bring you some numbers when we come back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
And welcome back. Thanks to new pitcher for the Savage Storm. It is Joseph Bishop, 34, a sophomore out of Kaufman, Texas, Richland College. Comes in with not much on the board, not much on the stat sheet. 0 ERA, but he's only made 1 appearance. He's pitched 1 full innings, faced 3 batters and struck 1 out. So not much to go off of, but I mean his 1 appearance was a successful one. That came, I said this is just his 2nd one. That came back, or this past week against Central Oklahoma. So it came in, 1 inning pitched, no runs, no hits, struck out 1. He'll be going up against Pierce Mitchum. Mitchum, who is 0 for 3 on the day. 0 for 4 on the day. That's first hit will be hit into left center. Ortiz comes over and makes the grab that time. No tag by Schrader at second. It'll be out number 2, and that'll bring up Cade Burris. Burris 2 for 3 today. Been caught stealing once. Burris batting .310. That one missed low for ball 1. The 1-0 popped up. Should be playable for Rice over at first, and makes a grab on the line for out number 3. So that'll do it for the bottom half of the 8th. Southeastern down to their final 3 outs here as we head the top of the 9th. We'll take another quick break. Be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field. Looks like we have another pinch hitter here, number 22. That is Davis Jinks, hitting in the 9 hole. Two-0 count here from Hermes. He's back out for another inning of work. Jinks batting .143 this season. Called strike 1. Good pitch there from Hermes. Hermes started the season in a starter role. He's kind of moved on over into the reliever side the second half of the season. 2-1, fouled back, make it 2-2. Southeastern down to their final 3 outs. On deck is one of the leading batters in the GAC in Seth Morrow. That one misses, and we've got a full count here from Hermes. But Morrow came in batting .424. He's 1 for 4 today. Leads the GAC in RBIs with 40. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there. That'll be a strikeout for out number 1 as Morrow stepped to the plate. The batting .417 on the year. Lead Southeastern with 9 homers. Ouachita's given up 2 solo shots today. So we still have a 7-run lead. That we fouled back out of play. Strike 1. That is hit sky high over and right. Steen calls off everybody else and makes the grab. The out number 2. Southeastern down to their last out, and the number 2 batter in the conference will go 1 for 5 today's game. Good job by the Ouachita pitchers, kind of controlling Morrow coming into this. Like, he's an exceptional athlete. Ooh, a good off speed there from Hermes for strike. Morrow is, like I said, an exceptional athlete. The Tiger pitching staff and defense has done a great job not really pitching to him today. That one missed for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. Still 0-0 in Shawnee, Oklahoma. 17 minutes played. That one's going to be hitting the right field. Steen comes over, gets under it, and makes the grab. And Tigers take game 1, 9-2. A great job today by the Tigers. Game 1. Give you some final stats on today's game. Like I said, your box score, Southeastern Oklahoma State with 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Ouachita 9 runs on 15 hits and 1 error. Ouachita left 8 on base. Southeastern left 9. Ouachita struck out 5 times to Southeastern's 8. Ouachita racked up 8 stolen bases today. That's an impressive number to get. And a lot more aggressive than we've seen out of them on the base path this season. So just a great job there by this Tiger team. Some bat, like so Tyler Reebok going 4 for 5, getting his average all the way up to 312 now. Schrader going 3 for 4. Steen was 2 for 4. Burris was 2 for 4. And Sal was also 2 for 4. Some great hitting today as well from the Tigers. Like I said, the 1 home run came from Tyler Reebok to start the game, and the Tigers never looked back. Did they take game 1 of the doubleheader? Once again, final score 9-2. Be about, I'd say, about a 30-minute break between games, and we'll be back with game 2 of today's doubleheader. It'll be on a separate stream, so this one will close, and then in 30 minutes you'll come back and we'll have the other one set up on a different one. Same YouTube channel, but that's just the way it works. Give a shout out to our crew today. On camera, we had James Jolly, Katie Hatchett, and Bailey Redden running camera. And in the trailer, we had Luke Robertson, Chris Babb helping run things in there. Could not do without it. I don't think I've told anybody my name today. I've been Matthew Branch, bringing you play-by-play for this one. Preston Crowder should be here to bring you game 2, or at least most of game 2. But that will do it here from Rab Rogers Field for game 1. Once again, final score, Ouachita wins it 9-2. Thank you for tuning into the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Everything in life is about communication and language. And that's what we do in the School of Humanities at Ouachita. In the Department of Language and Literature, we've got outstanding students who are English majors and Spanish majors. In the Department of Communications, our communications and media majors have a number of emphases that they choose from. Strategic communications, multimedia journalism, sports media, communication studies, and a special approach in which we just talk to a student, figure out what courses they need, and help them put it together on the spot. One of the things that we've done with our new emphases is really give students a major opportunity to work outside of class, because you get better at communications, by doing the work. So we've got students who are working in a television studio to put programming together. We've got students who in sports media are out doing live streaming and broadcasting of games and doing a lot of sports work for the other publications like the printed newspaper and the yearbook, which win major awards every year. And then our online version of the newspaper is really the newspaper of the future.
My experience in the School of Humanities has been super special. I feel like the professors are really hands-on, and they would always help me maximize my time here.
They gave me lots of different opportunities. I got to host the sports show, did lots of writing, lots of sports journalism, a lot of color commentating for different sports. And that not only taught me how to actually do the job that I do now, but I also got to turn around and put it on my resume, which looked great.
Most Spanish majors at Ouachita major in more than one area, and we've designed the curriculum purposefully to allow that to happen because whether you're in business and Christian studies, whatever your major might be, if you've got Spanish as a background, it's going to help you in many, many ways. One of the great things about English as a major is it helps you become a critical thinker. If you want to teach, that's great. We'll help you become a secondary English teacher. We'll help you become a college professor. But if your interest is really in publications, if your interest is in editing, we'll certainly work with you in that area also. Our English majors are very much career-oriented, and they work together with a very fine faculty to produce one of the very few bilingual literary publications.
Working on my degree plan with my professors, I was able to soon realize that, wow, I'm able to do more than I thought I was able to. I was able to add another major, and I didn't even know coming into college that I was able to do that. And I was able to study abroad in Spain to really become more fluent in Spanish, which was one of my majors. And so I don't think I would have had the same opportunities elsewhere.
The number of jobs in communications is actually increasing greatly. A lot of that is in the world of public relations, a lot of that is in the world of advertising, and a lot of that is based on particular skills that you develop while you're in college. All of those that we put together are based on increasing a skill level for our students so they'll have a wide range of jobs they can apply for.
I think Ouachita is distinct from a lot of other schools. Ouachita gives you so many opportunities for not only your education and your academic growth, but your spiritual and your personal growth.
You're getting a very well-rounded degree. You'll absolutely be prepared if you get a degree from the humanities school.